deception, Darwinian deception. It ties into another. It's also called the variant of it is the handicap principle. So basically, as the last video has mentioned, anthropologist Chris Knight, who studies the origin of language and our original human culture, and so the idea with language is that it's a cheap means of signaling, because it's I think it's considered digital in meaning. So it's like a binary code. For example, the signaling that when they tie this to the sex strike at the origin of human language, and so then for other primates, the humans have hidden estrus for the females. So other primates, they signal that they're in estrus, just like with other mammals. The fertility cycle for reproduction is tied to the moon cycle, but only in humans are the females synchronized with precisely with the lunar calendar. But this precision is lost for females living out of nature. And so modern females are disconnected from their natural ovulation cycle in synchronization with the pineal gland cycle. So in meditation we say that 3 days before and after the full moon, the meditation is actually 10 times stronger. And as I mentioned before, every night at 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., then the pineal gland is activated to connect the front and back channel. And you also find this in the religious training in non-Western cultures. So the name of God means bull. God means bull from Indo-European culture, but in Islam, the name for God is Allah. And so every time you say the name of God, you put your tongue against the roof of your mouth to connect the front and back energy channels. And so, as I said before, if God means bull, the oldest spiritual song is the Alan bull song, where the female at first menstruation has the strongest life force or numb energy, and then she turns into a male bull. And so she actually hunts the males at the same time that she's hunted by the males, and this is called re-entry into first creation. So it's based on the alchemy of the hidden yang qi in the females that's expressed through their voice when they sing all night long during the full moon at ovulation. And then the females, they wear the color red in solidarity for the sex strike. So the color red means that they're fertile, but at the same time, as Darwinian deception, they're telling the males that even though they're fertile, they're not available to have sex, because as a group they're having a sex strike. And this originally was used ochre, which is like a red pigment in the stone, like a hematite clay, iron red. And so and now it's used like with lipstick or red dress colors or whatever. So the Darwinian deception is that the female body language may say one thing, but the human language is what controls the culture. And so they use the singing to express the sex strike, so that the males that dance all night to take in the extra female energy, the red light, and then transform it back into healing energy that they send back to the females. And then the males learn that this is female energy, so then before they go hunting, they have to then be celibate for 3 nights, just like the full moon. And then they go hunting during the full moon, so they see the prey, and then they use their energy to attract the prey, just like they would attract the females. And so there's a book about this original human culture called it's obviously a women needing to eat to recharge their iron blood that's lost from childbirth. And then also women are hunted like meat, but the secret cause of attraction is actually the human energy. And this is tied, as I said before, with the numbing and the snake. So it's the Kundalini, or the vagus nerve, it's the right side vagus nerve. So there was recently a medical study released about these Western scientists saying if they use a microchip implant for the vagus nerve, then they can heal all sorts of diseases like Crohn's disease or arthritis or Parkinson's disease or even cancer. And the reason they're saying this is because the autonomic nervous system for the vagus nerve is a deep relaxation, and then it activates just like in deep sleep, it increases the melatonin from getting oxygen through the cranial. But of course, if the scientists are having them with a microchip, then that becomes a basis for using a microchip to then control people's nervous system and also harness that energy, so it works both ways. So then they can start directly using humans like that, like quantum computer battery sources. They're like a parallel computing system for the planet. At any rate, originally all the males were required to do this to show them the training, so that they learned that the real language is this Musilanguage from the females singing and the males dancing. And they purposely have the songs use a gibberish language with the spiritual songs, that the words have no meaning, and that's the way to show that the right brain frequency is more important than the speaking language using verbs and nouns. And so this is because the intention of the words is based on the frequency of the light, the spirit behind the words. And so even though you could say a word that supposedly means person's actual attention is based on the frequency of the emotional energy, which is the electrochemical energy. And so the singing is a way to balance out the different emotions of the organs, so that the vagus nerve is a normal. Eventually, activates the right side of the heart. That creates like the love, the community love. The Dr. Brad King calls it impersonal eroticism, from the dancing by the males and the females singing all night and syncopated hand clapping. And so we learn this way that actual normal talking that supposedly defines humans is actually Darwinian deception. And it's a way to trick the males into committing to long-term marriage to help raise the family by doing long-distance hunting, so that they're celibate during the hunting because the females are in solidarity and sex drive. That way they can guarantee that the males are loyal to helping to raise each child by the mother. To get married, the male has to provide for the female's family and live with the female's family for 3 years before they can actually consummate the marriage. So it's very strict training to actually even get married. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Thanks.